higher, but thus far, South Carolina State seems to have made the adjustments.
Okay, when you talk about the Aggies of North Carolina and A&T, I talk about them being 2-0. One of the reasons is their all-conference quarterback, Alan Hooker, and he's a good one.
Yes, he is, Charlie. He's 6'2", he's 190 pounds. He's got a rifle-type arm, and he loves to air the ball out. Situation being, he could pose a lot of problems for that South Carolina State defense.
And he has some good receivers, but he also has a great running back in Stoney Polite, who, when he gets down near the goal line, knows how to get it across.
He does, Charlie. He's a big kid at 5'10", 210 pounds. He's got pro potentials. Situation being, as you mentioned, he's a good runner. We're just going to have to question his speed as well as his blocking ability, and we'll check that out in today's contest.
Okay, he's the second leading rusher in the conference with 200 yards, and we'll be back to see how well he does along with the Aggies and the Bulldogs coming up next on BET. With Lem Barney, and welcome to Aggie Stadium, Greensboro, North Carolina. The Bulldogs against the Aggies. 24th meeting. As you look at Derek Woodson, a senior from Kinston, North Carolina, he has the ball on the tee. The deep men for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State are James Miller. Also back there with him is Corbin. This is Miller. And Miller up close to the 25-yard line. He'll be stopped at the 24. And that's where South Carolina State will go to work. First down and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Last year, South Carolina State in Orangeburg, South Carolina, beat the Aggies 51-14. It's been 9 straight years, 9 straight years for the Bulldogs over the Aggies. If you look at the South Carolina State offensive line, 5 seniors up front. It's a veteran squad. They start 7 seniors overall and 4 juniors. The quarterback, Charles Glaze. They're working out of the eye on first and 10 from their own 24. Glaze hands off to DeBose, the fullback, and DeBose is across the 25 to about the 27, 28-yard line. Pickup of a couple on the play. DeBose, a junior out of Darlington, South Carolina. As you look at the defensive line of the Aggies of A&T, they start 2 seniors, 2 sophomores, and a junior up front. They average 248 overall. 4 seniors, 2 juniors, and 5 sophomores start on defense. And you're going to watch Chris Barber. He's a good one. So is Rouse, Roderick Rouse, along with Brian Bowden and Joe Somerset, the secondary. High formation on second down for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Game just underway on the option to pitch to Miller. He can't control it. Fumbles the ball, and it's going to be the Aggies recovering. And this is one of the things that is not necessarily mistakes we cannot turn the ball over. And on the second play, third play of the game, they turn the ball over to the Aggies of North Carolina A&T on a fumble at the 28-yard line.
Well, Charlie, get a chance to observe it again. Miller never really looked it in. It may have been a high toss. He tried to caress the ball off his shoulder pad. He really didn't have eye contact. As a result, fine turnover for the Aggies. First and 10 inside the 25-yard line.
Inside the 30 at the 28. As Polite gets the call, Polite tries the left side of the defense of the Bulldogs of South Carolina State that starts 5 seniors, 4 juniors, and 4 sophomores. Here's A&T's offense. The offensive line that averages 277. They have Judge, Bell, Christian, Canyon, Lee, all those guys up front. The backs, Hooker, he's a good one. Shivers, Stoney Polite, he can run it. Along with good receivers in Best and Harbison, along with the tight end Joe Johnson. Long count from Hooker. Hooker gives and fakes to Polite. He keeps it. Wants to throw. He does. He has it complete to the tight end Johnson. And Johnson is out of bounds at the 15-yard line. First and 10, Aggies of A&T. Johnson, the junior from Pomfret, Maryland, coming into the game, 4 receptions for 55 yards. Last year, he only caught 7 for 57. As you look at South Carolina State's defense, we mentioned earlier, they start 5 seniors, 4 juniors, and 4 sophomores. The defensive line averages 240, 263. And Dwayne Harper, the back, is going to have his hands full in covering Herbert Harbison, number 3, all afternoon. They're going to match him up one-on-one, but he's a dangerous receiver. That is Harbison, number 3, for the Aggies. This is the big fullback. He fumbles. And South Carolina State gets it back. The recovery made by Bates. His father, John Bates, used to be the coach at Coppin State, so 2 back-to-back turnovers. This time, it was the fullback Shivers coughing it up.
Basic handoff. Good feel, good force there. At the big tight. Good turnover. Back turnovers.
opportunity and maybe a delay of game or a little bit offsides. Let's see. Sam Jones is our referee.
Dead ball, false start over here.
That's against the offense.
Not to be confused with the basketball, Sam Jones.
No. Not as tall either. Let's watch the play once again.
There's the right end.
See, they're supposed to blow that ball dead, and that's what we did was do in our game a week ago on illegal procedure of that nature. They stopped the play right away. So it's second down. Make that first down at 15. Ball is spotted back at the 18-yard line. And it's the offensive possession for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. In the first quarter, there's no score. Quarterback Glaze back to pass, and he throws a deep one. Going down the far side, and it's incomplete. Intended receiver on the far side was Eric Smith, the junior out of Glade, Florida. He's the intended receiver. Drew good coverage defensively from the Aggies. Broderick Rouse, a sophomore out of Miami, number 29. As you look at Dennis Thomas, his first head coaching job. He was a long-time assistant at Alcorn State under Marino Castle. Has his doctorate degree in education. And he's instilled a lot of discipline into these Bulldogs. Glaze hands off to the fullback DuBose. And DuBose is carrying Aggies along with him. Talking about two dogs fighting. The Bulldog was carrying the angle.
William DuBose, excellent second as well as third effort, especially after the point of contact. Ball is handed off. One tackle, two tacklers, 3, 4, and a host of others coming. Outstanding run. Pick up about 9 yards.
But it'll be third down and about 7. Third and long for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. 12:30 remaining in the first quarter. No score. They say third and 4 on the screen. It's third and 7. Option Glaze. Will he pitch it? He keeps it. And he's going to be close to a first down, I'll tell you that. He had a pitch man. That's Miller behind him, trailing him. Glaze is known for his running ability more so than Darnell. As we mentioned at the outset, they will play both of their quarterbacks. So Sam Jones, the referee, signals it is a first down.
We'll get a chance to watch it again on an option play. Each defender is assigned to a man. As you see, number 32 of Burt making the tackle, which is Bowden, and he went for Miller, who was the pitch man, and as a result, Glaze makes the first down.
Big first down on third and 7. They kept it on the option play. Now the backs are split behind the quarterback Glaze. Glaze on the option to the right side. He's come through, and he's off from the 35 to the 36-yard line. Gain of about 4. They'll give him 3. It'll be second down and 7. Charles Glaze out of Lincolnton, Georgia, total offensive leader on the team a year ago. Completed 62 of 126 passes for 933 yards, 5 touchdowns. He also ran for 507 yards and 7 touchdowns. And they call him more effective as a runner than as a passer, but he can throw the ball. So don't undermine him. He's already thrown this year for 117 yards in 2 outings, 11 for 20, 55%. And coming back is Miller. Miller across midfield to the 48-yard line. Goes James Miller, the junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, 4'6", 40 speed. He's 5'6". They missed him as 153 pounds, but he's quick as a cat. And you saw his ability there.
No question about it. If we had a chance to watch it again, we can observe it's a cutback play where it starts one way, it starts to the left. He veers it back to the right. Outstanding blocking at the point of attack. And he's just a nifty runner, Charles. Makes a little move here. And he gains yardage over the 50-yard line. A 15-yard scamper, make it first and 10 inside the 50 at the 49.
James Miller, you see him out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's at home. Second team all-conference a year ago. Again, they go to the fullback, DuBose, straight up the middle. And he doesn't have a whole lot going for him. Maybe a yard on the play. A host of Aggie defenders up front make the stop. Ernest Riddick, the nose guard at the bottom of the pile, number 59. All-conference player, first team a year ago. Riddick, along with Rodney Dickerson and Frank Newman up front.
Coach, Charlie, when we were talking with Coach Mo Forte at the top of the game, he made the mention of how large South Carolina State was, and I made the comment he's got speed, but he said, hey, that weight is going to outspeed me all day.
Well, that's the strength, and the ball is dropped incomplete. correct myself. He's from Greensboro, Georgia. I think when you say Greensboro, you automatically say North Carolina, like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where they're...
You got 50% of it.
Okay. It is third down. We'll call it 9. Blaze in a passing formation. Rose has Miller wide open. Flag is down. First down. It's either a hole or a late hit. Maybe a face mask against the Aggies, but Miller has it all the way down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Let's see what the flag is. Personal foul. Roughing the passer against the Aggies of A&T. So Blaze got the ball off to Miller, the safety valve man, out of Greensboro, Georgia.
Fine play, delayed action. As you can see, Miller coming from the left, getting back up on the right side of the field. Good timing pass there by Glaze. Good yardage. Personal foul will tack on extra yardage. Ball is inside the 25-yard line at the 24.
They'll take the play at the 24-yard line. It is first down and 10. Miller coming into the contest at 27 attempts for 112 yards, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. And he'd only caught 2 passes for 14 yards, but he turned a big one over that time. Blaze on the option. Flag is down. And he runs out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. Running him out of bounds, number 33.
Blaze on the keeper.
For the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. That is Raw Burnett, a linebacker. Now let's see what this flag is all about. Offsides, and it's against the Aggies. So I'm sure they may decline that penalty because it would only be second down and about 2 as opposed to first and 5.
I'm sure they'll decline it also as Blaze makes a nifty stand for them. Blaze led the entire offense in 85 in total offense. He's just a terrific ball player.
3 carries today for 30 yards so far for Charles Blaze. You know, we talk about how effective Miller has been. He missed the last 3 games last year with a shoulder injury. He still wound up with 766 yards. He could have gone over 1,000 had he been healthy. First down. They say that was a first down. First and 10. At the 11-yard line as Ernest Riddick made the stop.
Known by his teammates as Dr. Doom.
Why not? You see his mohawk. You should see his mohawk haircut. We may get a shot of him somewhere along the line. He has one of those Mr. T haircuts with his number shaved out in his head on one side and Aggie shaved out from the other. He's really an Aggie.
Yes, he is.
He's a senior also from Edenton, North Carolina. Miller tripped up just down the 5-yard line. He stopped at the 4.
Mobley.
And it was DeMont Van, the sophomore,
Van making the stop.
making the stop out of Hampton, Virginia.
Pick up for 5 yards.
Let's look at the mohawk of Ernest Riddick. We'll make him take his helmet off momentarily. There it is. Now, what you see, that little hair that you see on either side, one says 90, his number, the other says Aggies. Miller inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
On the carry.
It is
Again, making the stop. Number 90, Dr. Doom.
4th down. Now, we were in a situation like this a week ago when we saw A&T take that Alcorn State working against Grambling. They got down the field this far, and they decided to go for it on 4th down and came away with nothing. And I would say you have to come away with something here. At least kick a field goal. See how they feel about their field goal kicker. And that is Robbie Felton, who I should say Richard Dixon to be the field goal kicker. Felton kicks off and does the punting for South Carolina State. Dix is 1 of 4 in field goals this year. His longest is 20. This is a little more than an extra point. The ball is spotted at the 4-yard line. You got to figure it's about a 20 or 21-yard field goal.
Well, watching both place kickers doing pregame warm-up, they seem to have had a pretty good eye and a pretty good sense where those uprights were. So,
well, one of the things about Dix, he's not inexperienced. Last year, he was 6 of 7 in field goals, and his longest was a 47-yarder. He did that against Georgia Southern. He also hit a 44-yarder against Grambling. They just beat Grambling with 24 seconds left. So he's capable of kicking from this distance. This is a 20-yard field goal attempt for Richard Dix, and this would give the Bulldogs the lead. Remember, there's no score in the contest. 7:58 remaining. Richard Dix to attempt the field goal from the 10-yard line. It's partially blocked. And I believe the man who got the hand on it for the Aggies was Mike Reeves, number 5. Number 5, Mike Reeves, watching. And that's who made the block.
we'll get a chance to see it again. You can't see him coming from the left side where he does what's called skinning the cat or skinning the corner. And he get his hand up just in time. And here we go again from this angle. Here he is. He skins the cat. He lays out perfectly. He laid out where the ball was going to be in flight, rather going down at the snap position where the spotter's holding the ball. A good job, good assessment, good block.
And there's a timeout. 7:52 to play in the first quarter. No score. Yards rushing so far in the contest. A&T a -7, while South Carolina State 59 yards rushing so far. Polite on the wing to the left. Lone setback. Hooker going to the pass on first down. Throws it long. And Best is the intended receiver. A battle. And then to Harbison. Harbison will go all the way 80 yards. And it was Harper. We mentioned earlier that Harper was the man who had to claim one-on-one. He had him as well as you could. And the crowd here is electrified. Herbert Harbison, the receiver, 80 yards.
Yes, he did, Charlie. You made mention Harper had great coverage on Herbert Harbison. Again, we talked at the offset of the telecast about the rifle arm that was possessed by Alan Hooker. Get a chance to see it again, and great concentration. Here it is. It's a battle for it. Harper does a great job in knocking it down. Harper loses his footing here. Harbison keeping the presence of mind to watch that ball into his hands, and as a result, culminating on an 80-yard scamper. Here it is again. Good blocking, good timing. He just airs it up. It's a takeoff pattern. Harper had a good battle going up until the last 40 yards. Good job.
Well, what makes it even more of a heartbreaker for the Bulldogs is they just had a field goal attempt blocked, and on the first play that the Aggies get it back, they strike for goal.
Well, that's a normal tendency by the offense. Once a turnover is committed or a big play is made by the defense, the ball is turned back over to the offense. You can look for some type of deep pass. As a result, it did, and it culminated on an 80-yard strike from Hooker to Harbison.
That's the 4th touchdown reception this year for Harbison, the 7th touchdown pass this year for Hooker. And Harper, like we said earlier, he was the man that was going to have coverage on Herbert Harbison all day long, one-on-one, and he did as good a job as he could do. It was just the ball took a bounce in the Aggie direction.
Yes, he did. He sort of slowed up after he deflected the ball. The first time, Charlie, the ball stayed aflight. Harbison kept his eyes on it, battled it down, and finally watched it into his hands, and we know the result.
This is Miller on the return from the 5-yard line. He is cut down in his tracks at the 22-yard line. And he is slow getting up. Alan Hooker, who is the brother, I believe, or Ed Hooker, rather, the brother of the quarterback, Alan Hooker, was the man who made the stop. He's the older brother. Right there. He put the helmet there, didn't he?
What you call murder on the 30. Good hit. Good special teams, man. They're called trained killers.
So the ball will start at their own 24. This is the 3rd possession for South Carolina State of the afternoon. Their first one ended in a fumble. Their second one, a blocked field goal attempt. And this is their 3rd one. And let's see what's going on here. We have offsides against A&T, and they want to kick it over. There was an offsides against the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, and the Bulldogs decide they want it back. So again, now a new man is back because they shook up James Miller. Mike Summers, another running back, is back there, along with one of the receivers for South Carolina State. Billy Rouse, a junior from Darlington, South Carolina. Rouse is on the near side. As you look at Dennis Thomas, the coach. This is the kickoff man, Derek Woodson, rather. Maybe O-O-T-S-O-N. Woodson. The Aggies of North Carolina A&T. He's a senior at Kinston, North Carolina, number 9. This one will come down to the up man, and that is Summers. Summers, the big tailback, scrambles out to the 30-yard line. So they gain about 6 yards on the penalty and the re-kick. So they'll start at their own 30. First down and 10. Again, Charles Glaze stays in at quarterback. As I said, they do play a 2-quarterback system. We will see Roscoe Darnell come in. And the backs in there now are Zachary Whitley, number 35. And Whitley in place of James Miller and William DeBose. DeBose the fullback, Whitley the tailback, the option. And Glaze has it. Gives a stutter step and falls forward to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 3, make it 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Get a chance to watch the lateral movement on A&T's defense, whereas they're still trying to figure out how to defense this option. Good force, good feel, and good containment there. Everybody's got assigned men as it should be on option-type teams. And as a result,
wouldn't let Whitley go loose.
They wouldn't. As a result, they got a 2-yard gain, the least amount of yardage they've gained all day on the option.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. 33-yard line. The Aggies on defense. The Bulldogs of South Carolina State trailing 7-0. Glaze throws, has his tight end wide open, first down across midfield, and down to the 47-yard line, Robert Tyler, the senior from Sally, South Carolina. And it was Joe Somerset, the sophomore from Miami, the free safety, who made the stop for the Aggies.
That type of pass coming off the option will make it a much high percentage pass during the course of the game, because defensive backs are going to be concentrating on stopping action. Good play action fake here to the fullback, DeBose. Tight end Tyler is wide open. 1st and 10.
One of the things you feel you have to be impressed with, and one of the strong points of South Carolina State should be their offense, Lynn, because they are such a veteran team up front. DeBose, the big fullback, barrels his way down close to the 40, to the 41-yard line.
That should, Charlie. It's a big plus in any offense or any defensive squad when you've got that many returning seniors that are playing as starters. So they should have the advantage. Thus far, they're in a dogfight, being the Bulldogs against the Aggies of A&T.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for South Carolina State at the 41-yard line of North Carolina A&T, trailing 7-0. In the first quarter, 5:35 remaining. Glaze throws too high for Rouse, the intended receiver, Billy Rouse. And Chris Barber, the man covering on the play. As you look at Billy Rouse out of Darlington, South Carolina, had a shoulder injury last year. Only played in a couple of games, had 5 receptions, 1 touchdown before going out for the year. 5:31 remaining first quarter, 3rd down and 5. Glaze stacks. Glaze on the option, and he gets straight ahead. And a big hole for Burgess, and Burgess is down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Anthony Burgess, a senior out of Union, South Carolina. He's a big one. Look at the weight, 6'1", 220.
That's a load, I tell you. Fine job up front by the guard center, Eichelman, Ferguson, Ishmael. There it is. A gaping hole for Burgess. He feels all alone thus far, but he's finding pressure coming from the left side defensively. Boom. Good stick. However, good run. 1st and 10. 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line.
And this time they hand off to Summers. Michael Summers, the junior from Millen, Georgia. This is only his 3rd carry of the year, other than bringing back that kickoff a minute ago. but he only gained a half a yard. They'll call it 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. If he gained anything, really. I wouldn't even give him that. Ball still at the 9-yard line, 2nd and goal. They try the option the other side, fumble. There was a little mix-up between the quarterback, Blaze, on the handoff. And it'll bring up 3rd down. But they get the ball back.
Looked like it was going to be a basic dive play.
They're trying to get it to Burgess. And Burgess was another one of those seniors they have up there. Of course, we talk about Blaze being the senior as we look at the play once again.
Let's observe it again. Here it is. To the left side, it's in Burgess.
He tried to put it in and bring it back out, and he couldn't get it out.
Certainly couldn't. As a result, fumbled it. Luckily enough, they did recover the fumble. It's still third and goal from the 9-yard line.
Well, South Carolina State has proven that their senior-dominated offense can move the ball against the Aggies. They just haven't been able to put any points on the board. Blaze. Incomplete, intended for Summers. 4th down. Will the field goal unit come on again? Let's see.
It was a tough pass from Blaze to Summers, somewhat turned him around. He couldn't make the bodily adjustment up top. As a result, incomplete.
So again, Dix comes on to attempt the field goal. This one will be a 26-yard attempt. Remember the last time he attempted one, it was blocked. And the man who came up with the block was Reeves, number 5. So we'll see if Reeves can repeat his heroics of just moments ago. 16-yard field goal attempt. 3:56 remaining first quarter. It's up, it's long enough, and let's see. It is good. So there's a timeout on the field. 7-3 is the score. 3:51 left, first quarter. The first quarter score with 3:51 remaining. South Carolina State 3, the Aggies of A&T 7.
Will kick off by the Bulldogs.
And Robbie Felton, number 24, out of Vienna, Georgia, sophomore, will kick it off for South Carolina State. As you look at the scoring drive, 2:53, 26-yard field goal. That was the field goal. The big play was the 32-yard run by Burgess. Coming down on the near side to Moore. Darius Moore. And Moore is up across the 35 to the 36-yard line. They'll mark it at the 37. For Darius Moore, who is a kickoff return man. This is only his 2nd kickoff return of the year.
Ball will be spotted on the 37-yard line.
Again, the scoring play of South Carolina State.
For the Aggies.
The culmination was the field goal. The big play was a 32-yard run.
Number 11, Hooker, calling the signal.
Alan Hooker, the quarterback for the Aggies. Best in motion. Number 1. And off straight ahead. And that's Shivers, the fullback, the senior from North Carolina, South Carolina. And it was Javon Ross on the stop out of Macon, Georgia, the junior. So look at Shivers coming off.
Fine stick by Ross. Played defense on the other side of the line of scrimmage where defense is intended to play.
Gain of 2 on the last play, 2nd and 8. Harbison on the right side. Best is in the slot to the right. Best in motion again. Back to pass. Cook over the middle pass intended for the tight end. Goes incomplete. They were trying to hit Johnson. They knocked the umpire down. The umpire really got knocked down. That's the most dangerous position on the field because you got to have your head on a swivel. I'll tell you.
That's one of them. I tell you. The officials are always in the area there where it's a shady area where they could get hit by a receiver, a linebacker, or a back.
They tried the quick pop pass to the tight end. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for the Aggies of A&T. They have not beaten South Carolina State since 1976. They beat them that year, 15-14. It was the only blemish on the Bulldogs' record. And they throw, and they have it complete, and they are short of a first down, and it's Best on the far side. But he could not get enough for the first down as Roy Norman made the stop, the sophomore from Lincolnton, Georgia, Union City High. So to bring up a 4th down situation, the ball at the 45-yard line, and they'll have to punt it away.
Dangerous pass here by Hooker to the wide side of the field. Bested ran a square out coming off his motion. He had to come back for the ball, and that's why he lost yardage. However, on the initial pattern, he had the necessary yardage for the first down. However, no good.
Morrison punt goes into the end zone, and they won't run it out. They'll bring it out to the 20. South Carolina State will get the ball at their own 20-yard line. First and 10, 2:25 remaining first quarter.
Noon temperature going to hit near 90 here in Greensboro today. As South Carolina State runs straight ahead, and talking about powerful running up the middle. William DuBose, the fullback, and he gains a first down across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. A gain of 12 on that last run by William DuBose, a 4'6" 40 man, coming into the game 72 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry. He has not scored a touchdown, though.
He was congratulated by big left tackle, Harley Griffins.
And again, they run down the middle. DuBose picking up yards by the pound.
Yes, he is. Fine run. Good hold provided again by the left side of that offensive line, consisting of Ishmael and Griffin. DuBose has nothing to do but run with it. He could have had the presence of mind to look back to the left side. The receiver was there. We get a chance to watch it again. Gaping hole. Missed tackle here by number 21, Somerset. Another fine run.
270, 250, 258, 290, and 300 across the front for South Carolina State. The pass checked, almost intercepted, incomplete. Intending it for Tyler, the tight end. The man who almost came up with it was Joe Somerset. Diving attempt at the interception, it falls incomplete. So it's second down. And that was a good call on a first down play because they had been running it. They've been popping it for good yards. So why not set up the pass with a play action?
Very good pass. The only thing I would question by Glazen was the loftiness he had on it. He should have sort of rifled it in there. He sort of just laid it up in the air, was deflected momentarily, as you mentioned, almost being intercepted. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
A minute and 26 remaining. First quarter. 7-3 to score. The Aggies on top. 80-yard touchdown pass to Harbison. Got it for their touchdown. Incomplete. This man doesn't have good hands. That's twice he's dropped the pass.
Certainly doesn't. He missed his first one on near the goal line prior to the field goal by Dix. He didn't make the adjustment. He has no excuse for that one. It hit right in both hands.
And there was a lot of pressure on the quarterback Blaze. He did a good job of getting it off. South Carolina State will bring in Edwin Glass.
Followed action again. It's a semi-rollout to his left. Nice soft ball in his hands. Unexcusable. Should have caught it.
Glass on the far side. Smith on the near side. 3rd and 10. Ball just inside the midfield stripe. And under pressure, Blaze will not get it off. He fumbles. But one of the up linemen manages to get it back, and that is Rusty Hinton, the senior from Durham, North Carolina, who fell on the loose ball. But it'll bring up a 4th down as they lose about 11 yards or 12 yards on the play.
Charlie, I thought they were in the grass. He was in the grass.
That's not,
the ball.
They don't have that rule in college.
Well, he was pretty much manhandled, and I didn't think that the fumble should have been allotted as well, but they did count the necessary yardage that was lost on the fumble. 4th down.
And that'll bring on the punter, Robbie Felton. Gets off a good one. Harbison will field it at the 28-yard line, and he gets back to the 30-yard line, and that's as far as they'll go. They'll start at their own 30. First down and 10. Coming into the day's game, the Aggies of North Carolina A&T were ranked #1 in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in total offense, pass offense, and scoring offense. And they scored 78 points. Most of their points have come in the first half. They scored 42. And in the second and fourth quarter, they've scored 22, 11 in each of those. Back to pass is Hooker, going for Best, too high. Anthony Best, the sophomore out of Wilson, North Carolina, the intended receiver, a little bit too high for him.
A little too high. Had it been a good pass, he still could have been running. Covered then a little lethargically by Roy Norman.
We talked about the standings in the conference from the Aggies. Alan Hooker was the MEAC Player of the Week against Fayetteville State. That day he Completed 17 of 20, 194 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last year, he threw for 2,066 yards, 24 touchdowns. And Polite gets the call. Polite in the open field. Polite still on his feet, and he's down to the 48-yard line. And a first down for the Aggies. So Stoney Polite shows his running ability as he matches those of DuBose and Miller for South Carolina State. He is the second leading rusher in the MEAC. That is Stoney Polite coming into the game with 200 yards.
Well, you get a chance to follow the action again. It's a draw play coming off a play action fake. Nifty move, finally coming up, making a stop from the secondary position. Right cornerback, Dwayne Harper, 1st and 10.
Leading rusher in the conference is Reggie Barnes of Delaware State. Alan Hooker, the total offensive leader. And that's the end of the first quarter here from Aggie Stadium in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a good game. The Aggies on top, 5-4. Charlie Hill and Lynn Barney with you here in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Aggies have the ball with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Their own 48 out of the I formation. Alan Hooker's the quarterback. 7-3 is the score. The Aggies on top right now. Hooker back to pass. First down. He throws short. Harbison was overthrown, and Best was underthrown. So it was between the two.
You chalk that pass up to being a bad pass, Charlie. It wasn't really intended for anybody. I think he had too much pressure on him. He was just getting rid of the ball. Here's Best running a square out about 17 yards.
He was open.
And Harbison was underneath at about 10, and the ball bounced between the both of them. We'll chalk it up as a bad, incompleted forward pass.
Pro set formation. Johnson splits out the tight end. Harbison to the near side. Back to pass again is Hooker on the post. And Hooker decides he'll run it. And Hooker has a first down at the 40, inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Goes Alan Hooker. Oh, he shows that he can run it if he has to. You're talking about a leader. You know, I asked him yesterday, what do you contribute all your success to? And he told me, he said, to the man upstairs. And he has a lot of confidence in the man upstairs, and the team has a lot of confidence in him. So the two working together has put this team 2-0 for the beginning of the 1986 season. Last time the Aggies were 2-0 was 1976. They went 6-4-1 that year. Last time they were 3-0 was 1972. And they went on to post an 8-2 record.
Lord is really blessing. He set 18 team records last year, including rushing, so he is being blessed.
Polite runs into a brick wall, and no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. You're talking about those records he set last year. Most yards, total offense, run attempts, passing attempts, passes completed, touchdown passes. Those are all school records a year ago. You look at Leroy Mathis, a linebacker, a senior out of Huger, South Carolina. Starter off and on the last couple of years. 8th leading tackler in the conference right now. He's changing the play. This has to be an audible. And Polite gets the call. And it was a good audible. And Polite's down inside the 30-yard line before he's finally stopped by Harper. And Harper had help from Ernie Peace, the free safety.
Well, it was an audible, as we mentioned. Had him in an eye right slot. He came back to a normal pro set. Split formation. Nifty call. Nifty run. Resulting into, well, I guess they're going to bring the chains out to measure. It's that close.
They're going to measure it. Last year, the Aggies, we talked about what they've done this year in the conference, being #1 in total offense, pass offense, and scoring offense. A year ago, they were 4th in total offense. They lost their first 4 games. In fact, both of these teams came into this particular contest 0-3, and it was the Bulldogs of South Carolina State who walked away with a 51-14 victory. As you see how much yardage is needed, or inches are needed, for a first down. Last year, the Aggies were 4th in the conference in total offense, 4th in run offense, 2nd in pass offense, and 3rd in scoring offense. But as far as South Carolina State, right now, they are 5th in total defense in the conference, 3rd in pass defense, 4th in scoring defense, 5th in pass defense. A year ago, they were 5th in total defense. So
They're trying to improve on what has been traditionally a good defensive squad, the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. A year ago, like I said, they were 5th in total defense. Right now, they're still 5th in total defense, and they'll try to get that together. It's still early in the year, and they have a new coach, and a lot of adjustments have to be made from the team. But he hasn't changed the basic philosophy of the organization. Hooker, the pass on 3rd down, throws it long. Harbison, interference. All the way, but it's only a 15-yard penalty. It is only a 15-yard penalty, regardless of the interference call. It will not go at the goal line, go to the goal line. But Harper clearly interfered with him.
Should go to about the 12 or 13-yard line.
The ball is at the 28. So it'll be at the 13. They'll move it to the 13.
Shows you the guts this young man, Alan Hooker, has. It's 3rd down and about 4 inches to go, and he throws a square out pattern, or flag, or post corner. Executed quite well. However, Harper was beat to defensive cornerback, and he did a smart move, because I'm sure he's in tune to the rulings this year. It doesn't go on the goal line. It's only a 15-yard penalty. At least you got another down to fight.
And it saves a touchdown.
Yes, it does.
As Harbison was going after it. I formation. Best is in the slot to the right. Polite the second back in the eye on 1st and 10 at the 13. Polite jumps over one man, and he's still on his feet. Polite got by Leonard Harrison, the senior from Riviera Beach, Florida, the right tackle. And he picked up yardage inside the 10 to the 9, giving 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 as you look at the numbers on Stony Polite. He was the MVP in the game we did here a year ago against North Carolina Central. Polite finished the year in 85, 654 yards and 8 touchdowns.
He led the Aggies in rushing in the last 2 seasons, and he's on a good start for the 86 campaign.
Best in motion. Play action. Time. Complete. And out of bounds. Maybe shy of the 1st down. The man on the reception for the Aggies of A&T was Robert Shivers, a running back, the fullback. Coming out of the backfield. Look at him.
Senior out of North Augusta, South Carolina. Good play action fake. Good blocking at the point of attack. Shivers wide open. Tries to get as much yardage as he could. Coming up about 2.5 to 3 yards shy of that 1st down marker.
So a timeout is called. We'll take one. We're in the 2nd quarter here. 11:58 remaining. And it's a 7-3 ball game with the Aggies of A&T on top. The crowd on hand here at Aggie Stadium. The Aggie band will be seeing them at halftime. It is 3rd down and 3 for the Aggies at the 5-yard line.
Harbison is asking the band to be quiet so he can hear the audible.
The throw incomplete over the head of the intended receiver coming out of the backfield.
Julian Jackson.
Jackson could not get to it. Juan Jackson, the junior from Wilson, North Carolina, and it's 4th down.
Well, it was a high pass to Jackson from Hooker. He's only 5'11".
Now, one of the things that Mo Forte does not have a lot of confidence in is his field goal kicker. He does have confidence in extra points, but not in field goals. When you see, they're going to go for it on 4th and 3.
Could be a big down
play
for the defense.
Again, Hooker rolls, throws, point, 1st down and goal at the 1-yard line. Juan Jackson coming out of the backfield. He was the 2nd leading scorer for the Aggies in 85, and he gets a 1st down on the reception.
If you don't
right
try,
back to it.
If you don't try it once, try again. And here it goes, a repeat of the previous play. This time it's a fine strike. Jackson did have to make the adjustment. However, good defensive play by the linebacker coming up to make the stop right at the 1-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
This drive has gone 69 yards so far. They're a yard away from putting 7 more points on the scoreboard. Full house backfield. Polite. Touchdown. I mentioned, when they get close, they like to give it to Stoney Polite. And there he is, number 44. And for Stoney Polite, that is his third rushing touchdown of the year.
Watch it again. Watch the action. Lead blocker, number 24, McLean, along with the tight end, Andrews, who escorted him in the end zone from 1 yard out for the score.
70-yard drive, and the extra point is good. I said they have confidence in Woodson kicking the extra point, and it's 14-3 with 11:29 remaining in the first half. A week ago, 31-6. Woodson has the ball on the tee for the Aggies, who are 2-0, beating Fayetteville State 50-0. Winston-Salem 28-21, and they lead right now 14-3. Mo Forte, who's in his 5th year as head coach of the Aggies, has never beaten South Carolina State. In fact, they've lost 9 straight to the Bulldogs. And this is Cecil Holt, a reserve receiver, on the return to the 26-yard line. So South Carolina State will go to work, first down and 10, their own 26.
Holt didn't really look like he wanted to return that kickoff, and he was sort of looking for some place to run, and as a result, the kicking team got a chance to get down.
That's what you talk about, eating up clock and yardage. 9 plays, 70 yards. The big play was that 4th and 3 pass play. It was complete to Juan Jackson. He took it down to the 1. And it was first and goal, and on the next play, Stoney Polite took it in from 1 yard out. South Carolina State now with the ball. And a fumble, and the Aggies have it back at the 35. DuBose was the carrier. He fumbled, and on the recovery, Joe Somerset.
You can look for some type of air pass here, Charlie. I'm sure it may be a takeoff or a deep corner pattern again. It's a turnover. Here it is. Good hole there.
Popped right into the hands of Joe Somerset.
DuBose had a good hole. He had good yardage ahead of him had he held on to the ball. Here it is again. Just as he broke clear that line of scrimmage, the ball popped up, coming up from his free safety spot, Joe Somerset to make the recovery.
South Carolina State coming into the contest had fumbled 7 times, lost 5. They've lost 2 today. So they're 7 of 9 for the year. And you can't win ball games giving the ball away. Plus they had a field goal attempt block. They've made 3 mistakes in this contest. Hooker, wide open. Touchdown, Polite. 35 yards. Hooker to Stoney Polite.
Hate to say I told him so, but I did make mention of it. Good play action fake. Tight end on a bow out. Running back. Get a chance to see Polite on the right side. He does a square out takeoff. Quarterback has all the time in the world. He gets behind everybody, almost including the officials, and rolls head over heels into the end zone for a 35-yard strike.
Stoney Polite with his 2nd touchdown of the day. And it's all of a sudden the extra point. We lost in all the excitement. No good. And it's 20-0 though. 1 play, 35 yards. 20-3 make it with 11:13 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Only 16 seconds elapsed between the 1-yard touchdown run by Polite and the 35-yard reception from Hooker. We'll be back. Could be talking about sweet revenge from 51-14 a year ago, and the Aggies out in front 20-3 now, mainly because of mistakes by South Carolina State. This is Michael Summers on the return, and he's up across the 25 to about the 27, 28-yard line.
The Aggies are almost about to take the intensity out of the Bulldogs. The return men doesn't even seem like they have a lot of enthusiasm in trying to return the ball or advance it back upfield. Again, Charlie, you made mention on the turnovers, the fumbles, and the interceptions. This is what beat South Carolina State in its very first ball game. And again, it seems to have been plaguing them thus far early going in this first half.
Of course, Dennis Thomas told us before the game, if we don't turn the ball over, we're in it. And they have moved the ball when they've held on to it. It's been evident. They've been able to move the ball against. And there we have a flag. We may have a little extracurricular activity down in the bottom of the pile against the Aggies.
Dead ball.
And it is. And as DuBose was the ball carrier.
Reinhardt, perhaps the guilty culprit.
But a little bit too much activity as you look at Charles Glaze, the senior out of Lincoln, Georgia. His team trailing 20-3, and really he hasn't done anything to cause them to fail, to falter. As you look at Mo Forte in the blue hat, 5th year, penalties in the game, relatively penalty-free. The contest so far. 1 against South Carolina State, and that was the pass interference penalty. And then 3 against the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. South Carolina State came in averaging 9 penalties and 67 yards in penalties a game, while A&T averaged 14 penalties and 7 penalties and 67 yards a game. Glaze, plenty of time.
Dangerous pass.
Terrible pass. 5 blue jerseys around the ball that was intended for the tight end Tyler.
He'll get a chance to observe it again. Good blocking at the point of attack. He's got time to even look for a secondary receiver. He's eyeing Tyler all the way there. 4 defensive people converging right in on Tyler. Could have been intercepted. As a result, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
With all the time he had, you would think somebody else had to be open, right?
No question, with 4 defensive people converging on 1 intended receiver.
Again, Glass comes to the far side, to the near side, I should say. And we have some movement up front. It's 2nd down and 10, and it's going to be a penalty offsides, possibly against Ishmael, the guard from South Carolina State.
Red ball, false start.
Number 73, the left guard, jumped a little prematurely. So instead of 2nd and 10, it'll be 2nd down and 15. 10:34 remaining.
False start. Offense.
Sam Jones, our referee. It's 2nd and 15. The ball just shy of the 40 at the 39-yard line. This looked like a passing defense coming in for the Aggies of A&T. Nickel defense. They bring out a linebacker, bring in an extra defensive back on the eye on 2nd and 15. They look at Glaze. As he goes back to pass, he throws, has it come in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Eric Smith. And Smith was leveled. He was really hit. Rough on the hit.
Level is a pretty good adjective. I would say pulverized. Watch it again.
He still should have had the ball.
He should have had it.
But then you have your quarterback to blame for that because he put you up in the air.
It was a high toss, you're correct.
Quarterbacks put you up in the air, you go back and you tell them something.
No question about it. Good hit by
Broderick Rouse.
Yes, sir.
3rd and 15. Obvious passing situation again. Extra defensive back end for the Aggies of A&T.
Glaze calls a timeout.
And now a timeout is called by the Aggies. Make that the Bulldogs. That is their 2nd timeout of the contest. So they only have 1 left in this half with 10:29 remaining. Good crowd on hand here to see this 24th meeting between these 2 schools. As I said, the last time that the Aggies beat South Carolina State was 1976, and it was right here on the same Aggie field that they did it. And the final score was 15-14. South Carolina State went 10-1 that year, and the only blemish they had was that loss to North Carolina A&T.
They're playing much better thus far. They're off to their best start in 10 years by sporting a 2-0 record. Their pass defense has only yielded 286 yards in the first 2 ball games, culminating to be 143 yards per game, and thus far they're stifling out the passing attack of South Carolina State.
.29 remaining first half. It is 3rd down and 15. So far in the contest, Charles Glaze has completed 4 out of 10 passes. 2 out of 10 make it for 44 yards.
Not too good.
11th attempt, flag is down, throws incomplete, too low for Glass, the intended receiver. The back judge and the umpire both ruled it incomplete, but let's see what the flag is all about. We had a good game going here until South Carolina State decided to play giveaway.
So Stoney Pollard broke loose.
And the flag is going to be against South Carolina State. Had an illegal receiver downfield. It is not a loss of down, but it'll bring up a 4th down, even if they refuse.
And there was a man downfield. Offense decline.
Because the pass was incomplete, it'll bring up a 4th down, and that'll bring on the punter as Harbison goes deep for the Aggies, and Robbie Felton will come on to do the punting. Felton, a sophomore out of Vienna, Georgia, averaging 37.4 yards per punt, 3rd leading punter in the conference. He gets off a good high one. Harbison will field it inside the 15 at the 13 and dances back up close to the 20. He'll be stopped at the 20-yard line. Herbert Harbison on the return. Harbison, as a punt returner, is leading the conference, averaging 12 yards per return. But he had nothing going for him that time. He gained only about 7. So it'll be 1st down and 10 A&T at their own 20-yard line. They have scored 3 of the last 4 times they've had the ball.
You know, we had a chance to watch Harbison during pregame warm-up, and Coach Mo Forte told us pound for pound he is the toughest ball player on the team.
They listed him at 165. He told me, he said, well, it's more like 149. I said, yeah, you look like it.
He couldn't weigh 165 with 3 uniforms on.
Flags are down. The handoff straight ahead to Shivers, the fullback. Across the 25 to the 26, a gain of 6, but let's see what the flags are all about. They have a little play.
It's against the Aggies.
They have a play in which they have a halfback option. So I was at practice on Thursday, and we were talking, Coach Forte and I said, can Harbison throw? He said, you want to see? So he ran the play, and he threw a wounded duck out there. And I went up to Harbison afterward. I said, Coach told me you had a little trouble passing. Now I'm convinced.
Leadership. Offense.
I said, don't worry, the NFL will never draft you as a quarterback.
No question about that.
Illegal shift. 5-yard penalty. Moves the ball back to the 16 for the Aggies. It'll be 1st and 15. Fumble. I thought it was a fumble, but that was a piece of turf that came up instead of the ball as the running back Keith Mathis, sophomore from Oxon Hill, Maryland, got the call. He's averaging 5 yards a carry this year and has scored a touchdown.
Good job of maintaining his balance here. Knee didn't hit the ground. His hand is still trying to eke out as much yardage as he can, and successfully coming up with 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 10.
Shivers is back in. He's the up back in the eye. Polite the second back. Polite has scored twice so far. Pass out in the flat. Harbison has it, and he's run out of bounds by Harper. So Harper doing a little injustice in front of the Aggie bench on a little quick turnout, but it's a 1st down across the 30 to the 33.
It's a 10-yard square out. His ability to continue upfield, keep his shoulders parallel, got him the 1st down yardage. He's tough, he's feisty, he runs excellent pass routes, and his biggest forte is once he does catch the ball in open field, he's gone.
Oh, no question about it. He can run it. 1st and 10. 33-yard line for the Aggies. They're on 33. Polite has the ball. 45, midfield, 48-yard line of South Carolina State. Stoney Polite. Stoney Polite is eating up the yards.
Eating up the yards and eating up the defense of South Carolina State. As we follow the action here, it's a fake play action draw to Stoney Pollard right up the gut. He churns out 17 yards on this camper. Fine job. Good job of blocking downfield by his receiver, Harbison. 1st and 10. Ball just at the 48-yard line.
He has carried 7 times, 53 yards in the game. Polite. Hooker to pass. Throws. Complete to Harbison, and he's out of bounds. Has a 1st down or close to it. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be just shy of the 33-yard line. He'll need about a yard.
Just shy of the 38-yard line.
38-yard line, rather.
His coming back sort of brought him away from that chain. get a chance to see it here, and he just slips and his
Foot stepped out of bounds.
Yes. He was trying to get it upfield, as you could see.
Look at what he's done today. 3 receptions, 102 yards. One of them was an 80-yarder for a touchdown, though. To Best on the far side, and he can't hold on. Had the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Tried to make the adjustment a little too quick. Didn't WBIH, which means watch ball in hands. He tried to field a defensive back. As Charlie mentioned, he did have the necessary yardage for the first down, but you can't get it without the football. Good throw. It's a hot pattern. 2-step drop. He turns around and whips it out to the sideline. There it is, right in his hand. He was trying to get that neck around and locate where the defensive back was. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
Alan Hooker, such a leader out there on the field. Keep always, you know, you look for your son to be like.
No question.
I talked to Cal Irvin. First down on the run by George McClain. Now, McClain, in the first game of the year against Fayetteville State, the one that they won 50-0, ran for 109 yards on 13 attempts and a touchdown. He didn't even play last week. How do you keep him out of the lineup?
You got to get him in the lineup, Charlie. He's somewhat of a bread and butter player, somewhat first down, short yardage, midfield goal lines as it is here. He needed a yard. He ended up with 5 yards.
But then you have Polite. Here's Hooker. Harbison has it inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Herbert Harbison. And I talked about the coolness of Alan Hooker. Watch him.
Watch the action here. He's looking for his intended receiver, Harbison, who comes all the way across the field from the left side. Stop was made finally by Harper and Barksdale.
Blaine Harper will see 3s for the next couple of weeks in his sleep.
A nightmare.
Hooker again, looking for Harbison on the out. He has him. First down inside the 20-yard line to the 18.
Excellent athletic maneuver then as he maintained his body position to stay inside the chalk line. Did the tiptoe there on the sideline to hurl in a fine throw from quarterback Alan Hooker.
There's Herbert Harbison. Junior out of Shelby, North Carolina. 2nd team all-conference a year ago. Preseason, 1st team this year. First down and 10 at the 18 for the Aggies. Slot right is Best. He goes in motion. Here in an eye. And we had some motion against the Aggies. One of the interior linemen jumped a little prematurely.
Well, you made mention that Dwayne Harper will see 3s in his nightmare. Here's a jump again. Offensive guard tackled, and it sort of mushroomed everybody else jumping offside. But you mentioned that Harper will be seeing 3s in his dream for the next 3 weeks. He'll see him for the next year because he's a junior as well as Harbison is only a junior.
So he'll see him for the next year.
At least the next year.
Well, he knew about him. He told me yesterday, well, I know who I've got to cover tomorrow. It wasn't like he wasn't aware.
And Charlie, to give him credit, too, he's had great coverage, maintained good position. There's been some fine throws there, directed by Alan Hooker. Audible being called now.
Anthony Best drops it in the end zone. Best drops the touchdown pass.
Number 21, Roy Norman, will be seeing 1s for a long time.
Well, he was right there.
He's beat on a post pattern. He's in end zone. He's waiting. He's thinking about what's he going to do with it once he catches
He
it.
didn't follow the ball in. You saw his eyes. If you looked at the replay closely, his eyes were still looking up as the ball was coming down. He didn't watch the ball coming to the breadbasket.
Certainly didn't watch him into his hands.
He should have had 6 that time. 2nd down, 15, Aggies of A&T. Hooker directing traffic. He has Joe Johnson gone to the other side. He's going to have to call a timeout. The 25-second clock was in danger of running out on him. 7:20 remaining first half. It is 20-3 in favor of the Aggies. We'll be back. It is 2nd down, 15. 23-yard line is where the ball is. The Aggies have it in South Carolina State territory. And Alan Hooker wants to go to the air on 2nd and long. He's under pressure. He gets it away. And it It's complete to Shivers, the fullback. And Shivers gets inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He gains 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10. And you talk about the coolness of Hooker once again. Under all kinds of pressure, he averts his first sack of the day.
A lot of pressure being applied here by John Bates, number 89. He's got him in his grasp here. And he's speaking of the Lord being on his side, and he's trusting in the Lord. He was certainly there then, Charlie, as he gets off a Hail Mary.
It is 3rd down and 10.
A lot of pressure there applied.
And Shivers makes the completion.
Carmichael also in hot pursuit.
Out pattern to Harbison. Flag is down, but Harbison really took a hit, but he held on to the ball. And Ernie Peace really leveled him. They got there at about the same time, the ball in Peace, and Harbison pops right back up. And that's really disheartening. And you were D-back, Lombardi. You hit a receiver with your best shot, and he jumps up and runs away like he never touched him. Watch.
Yeah, his body almost did a contorted split then. Peace coming up from his safety position really leveled him. But again, I just give a great attestament to what Coach Mo Forte said about this young man, Harbison. Pound for pound, he's got to be the toughest player on his team.
And there's a penalty against South Carolina State.
Defensive holding. Before the
Defensive
pass
holding.
was thrown. First down.
Holding before the pass was thrown. So it brings up a 1st down and goal. The ball is spotted at the 9-yard line. First and goal at the 9 for the Aggies. I formation. Harbison on the right. Best on the left. Polite the second back in the I. Shivers the up back. Best is in motion. Polite has the ball. Back to the 5 and down to the 3. And close to the 1-yard line goes Stoney Polite. Polite with 2 touchdowns already. A pass reception of 35 yards and a 1-yard run. They came 16 seconds apart. 5:45 remaining in the first half. It is 2nd and goal at the 2.
Not only are the Aggies of A&T pretty much handling the Bulldogs of South Carolina State, just on last evening, the girls volleyball team of North Carolina A&T socked it to the girls team of South Carolina State.
Full house backfield. Look for Polite to get it. Number 44. Normally he does in this situation. And he does. And he gains nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Came out in an exotic formation, man. Very well defense. Here it is. It's just a T formation. Full house backfield. Fullback, 2 halfbacks. Pretty well defense then by South Carolina State. The play went for naught. Bring up a 3rd down and goal. Ball is still at the 3-yard line.
Lone setback. Look for him maybe to pass it. Maybe Hooker will keep it. He's rolling left. He's throwing. Complete. Touchdown. And it's Juan Jackson coming out of the backfield. He gave him that big 1st down earlier in the contest on that same play. And they come back with it on a 2-yard pass. And it's a 26-3 ball game.
Almost like deja vu.
Alan Hooker.
This kid has really impressed me, Charlie. Fine rollout quarterback. He keeps his cool. He sees his open receiver. He sets up and throws a fine spiral. Jackson looks it in all the way and gets into the end zone. Point after
is good. The last one was blocked, and it's 27-3 with 4:44 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 80-yard drive for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. The broadcast cable rights to this contest are granted to Black Entertainment Television by the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and the rebroadcast or a reproduction of the telecast without the written consent of BET and the MEAC is strictly prohibited. The announcers are selected and paid by BET. 27-3. And South Carolina State falling victim, not that time to any miscues on their part, but earlier they did. And one of the reasons that they're trailing in this contest right now. And the crowd is enjoying it, the home crowd especially. Derek Woodson has it on the tee.
Miller. Along with Summers, a deep. Here comes to Miller.
Good to see Miller back in the game.
And Miller is up across the 30 to the 32-yard line. James Miller on the return.
It's good to see Miller back in the ball game. If you remember, he left the ball game because of a kickoff attempt where he was really whacked by quarterback Hooker's brother, Ed Hooker.
So the Aggies of North Carolina A&T have scored 4 of the last 5 times they've had the ball. Hooker has 3 touchdown passes in the game, 80 yards to Harbison, 35 to Polite, and 2 to Juan Jackson. Meanwhile, the only scoring, as you look at the 11-play, 80-yard drive, it took 5:07, 3-yard reception by Jackson, and the score is 27-3.
That's called ball control. Good ground as well as air, just displaying ability. Hooker is just a terrific quarterback. He's just too much for the defense of South Carolina State today.
Illegal motion.
Kicking team. Re-kick it.
On the receiving team, and there will be a penalty, and South Carolina State will have to do it again. They had it in pretty good field position that time across the 30-yard line, and now instead of kicking from the 35, Woodson will kick from the 40-yard line after the penalty against South Carolina State. Against Summers on the far side and Miller on the near side will be back deep for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Charlie Neal and Lem Barney with you. Aggie Stadium, Greensboro, North Carolina. 24th meeting between the two schools. 12-9-2 is the series lead held by South Carolina State. There have been 2 ties. One was a 0-0 tie. The other one was 14-14. Here's a deep kick again, and it'll come down to Summers at the 5. And Summers across the 20 to the 25, and that's as far as he'll go.
Number 34 on the return.
So South Carolina State will start at their own 25-yard line. Their 7th offensive possession of the day. One ended on a blocked field goal attempt by Reeves. The other 2 in fumbles. Their first possession at the 28-yard line. And the 4th possession, I think that the 5th possession also ended in a fumble. Roscoe Darnell is in now, number 17. We talked about the fact that they do not hesitate to use 2 quarterbacks, and they have brought Darnell in as quarterback as William DuBose gets the call, and DuBose is up across the 25 to about the 29-yard line as you see DuBose going out. Now, we may see more receiving, more passing now for 2 reasons. Number 1, you're behind by 24 points, plus Darnell is a better passer.
He's a better passer quarterback as compared to Glaze, who was a runner as well as a passer, but his forte was more or less handling the option type of running offense. Normally, as you mentioned, they'll split a half, and obviously coach didn't think that Glaze was doing the job, so he didn't hesitate to bring in Darnell.
Glasses to the near side, Carter to the far side. Darnell back to throw his first pass of the day, and he won't get it all. He will not get this one away. He is sacked back at the 21-yard line by big number 65, James Jones, a senior out of Laurinburg, North Carolina. So his first pass attempt ends up in his first sack of the afternoon. 3:30 remaining in the first half of play.
Well, you get a chance to watch the big fella, number 65, James Jones, who was a walk-on last year. He just blows up by the offensive guard. Number 63, who was trying to block him out, Rusty Hinton. Good sack.
Rusty Hinton is 300 pounds.
Can't keep up with speed.
Darnell again wants to go to the air. Has time. Steps up, throws a wounded duck. And it's complete across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And it's complete to Glass. Edwin Glass, the senior from Jacksonville, Florida.
I don't know if his arm or the ball was deflected or what, but as you mentioned, it was a wounded duck that sort of like just wobble out there.
But it got there. That's the important thing.
It was ugly but effective. 16 yards on the reception. Shot of Roscoe Darnell's stats for the 86 campaign.
2:35 remaining. Bulldogs would like to get at least something on the board before halftime.
And an option and the quarterback keeper, and he gets another first down out close to midfield at the 49-yard line. So Roscoe Darnell scampers for about 11 yards and a first down.
It was an intended quarterback draw all the way, Charlie. You see him three-step drop. The guard should be leading him here, number 73. However, just a little too slow in getting up there. Victor Ishmael, good yardage gain, and just shy of the 50-yard line mark at the 49.
First and 10. South Carolina State. 2:05 left first half. Darnell going to the air. The throw too high. Good defense by number 32. Brian Bowden, the sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, covering Robert Tyler, the tight end.
Nearly intercepted. I question the throwing ability thus far of Darnell. Good spiral, however. Good defense by Bowden. Darnell had two good back-to-back first and 10s on fine pass and then a nifty run.
Bowden is just a sophomore doing a good job. He had a lot of playing time as a freshman a year ago, so he's not a rookie back there. Darnell sprinting left, throws. Oh, was he throwing to an Aggie?
Intercepted.
It was intercepted.
Obviously it was.
Number 48 for North Carolina A&T. Coming up with the interception is Tim Scott, a defensive end. Combination end linebacker.
Perhaps that roving linebacker. Good throw. Fine interception.
The pass was intended for Glass, believe it or not.
You say it looked like he was throwing to an Aggie. Had 3 Aggies in the area and only Glass. As a result, the Aggies coming up with the turnover.
And the third turnover of the day. From their own 41. A minute 45 remaining. Polite gets the call. Polite still on his feet. Polite's across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Stoney Polite. Pickup of about 6. It'll be second down and 4 for Stoney Polite and the Aggies. Clock continuing the run with a minute and 25 left in the first half. The Aggies leading 27-3. Stay with us at halftime. It's in our mobile player of the week. We also will have the bands, both the South Carolina State Marching Band and the Aggie Marching Band. Up to the midfield stripe goes Keith Mathis, the backup fullback, the sophomore out of Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Stop made by Juan Ross. Defensively, almost beheaded him.
Under a minute to go, 50 seconds to be exact. First half. I formation. Alan Hooker. Let's see if he tries to go upstairs. They got a blow prevent going. He keeps it on the option, cuts it back, still on his feet, dances down to the. Oh, he was hit nastily, wasn't he? You see the way his leg went back, but he gets up. He's okay. Whew. Scares you, doesn't it?
That's great flexibility for a quarterback. I tell you,
it still hurts.
Yeah, it does. I'm just saying it's to his advantage to be that flexible, as we'll see him execute the option in fine fashion. He's making nifty moves. His foot here, boom.
Oof. That's hyperextended knees normally.
Yeah, it
when
is.
You see things like that. 20 seconds remaining. Hooker under pressure. Steps away. Flag is down.
Throws it away.
Throws it away. It's incomplete. 16 seconds. The clock stops. Sam Jones, a referee, will tell us what the flag's about.
Holding. Defense.
Defensive holding against South Carolina State. Sam Jones, a referee, will tell us what the flag's about.
Holding. Defense.
Defensive holding against South Carolina State. So now Mathis checks back in at the fullback spot. Shivers comes out. That'll move the ball down and give them another first down at the 31-yard line. First down and 10. You see the time remaining. The score 27-3 in favor of the Aggies, who it's been 9 years since they beat South Carolina State. 51-14 was the score a year ago. Stony Polite. And Polite gets about 5 to the 26. It'll be second down as the clock will run out to end the first half. From Aggie Stadium in Greensboro, North Carolina, as they go to the locker room, it's 27-3. And the Aggies have a lot to cheer about here in front of the hometown crowd. We'll be back with our halftime activity. Stay with us. The bands will perform for you. The Champagne Dancers. Sit back and watch under the direction of Ronald Sargent.
Champagne is high school was one of the hottest movies on the charts today. Janet Jackson, nasty.
South Carolina State marching 1-on-1, and we'll be back with more halftime activities and our mobile player of the week in just a moment. Each week at halftime, BET Sports. Some of the first half activity as we look at the first half highlights. Here is Herbert Harbison beating Dwayne Harper, 80-yard touchdown pass, and this gave the Aggies of A&T a 7-0 lead. This was with 7:40 remaining in the first quarter. One play, 80-yard drive, extra point was good. And then after a field goal by Dix made it 7-3, and Polite had a 1-yard run to make it 14-3. Hooker hooked up with Stony Polite for this 35-yard touchdown pass. Stony Polite puts it into the end zone. That made it 20-3. That was just 16 seconds after he scored on a 1-yard run. Then with 4:44 left in the half, Hooker rolls out to his left. He finds Juan Jackson. Here he is, number 20. And Jackson takes it in 3 yards out, and it's 27-3, and that's the way it stands at halftime here at Aggie Stadium in Greensboro, North Carolina. You look at the first half stats. The yards rushing goes to South Carolina State, but the passing yards go to the Aggies of A&T. Total yards in favor of the Aggies, and turnovers have plagued South Carolina State. As you can see there, they've turned the ball over 3 times, but time of possession goes to the Aggies. Second half just about to get underway. Score Charlie Neal and Lem Barney back with you as the Bulldogs of South Carolina State trailing prepare to kick it off. That's Robbie Felton. He'll be kicking it to Harbison or one of the up men who takes it for North Carolina A&T. And number 35 is Jarius Moore on the return for the Aggies. They lead 27-3, and they will start 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line as we start the second half. make that 294 total yards for A&T in the first half. 194, 197 for the visitor South Carolina State. Here are some of the stats. Here you see them. Time of possession. The Aggies had it. Penalties, not much of a factor, but the turnover factor is what was the undoing of the Bulldogs of South Carolina State in the first half as Best goes in motion and Polite gets the call. Polite, the leading rusher in the ball game, with 68 yards in the first half, gets the call and gets across the 30 to the 33, so he has 71 yards on 12 carries in the contest so far. His longest run at 18, he scored on a touchdown. As you look at the recap of the scoring, a 26-yard field goal by Dix after that touchdown by Hooker, an 80-yarder, 20-yard reception. 35 by Polite, 3-yard pass by Juan Jackson. Second down. Long pass intended for Harbison. He's covered by Harper. Harper had a fit with Harbison in the first half, but stayed with him that time.
Well, again, as I tried to soften the situation for Harper, I thought he had outstanding coverage in a lot of the passes that were received by Harbison. But again, you got to give credit to the rifle arm of Alan Hooker.
Third down, make it 6. Ball just over the 35 at the 36-yard line. High formation for the Aggies. Lead by 24 points. Hooker going to the air, throws. Best holds on this time at the 49-yard line, and it was Roy Norman covering, but Best comes down with the second reception of the day. He dropped a touchdown in the first half of the ball game in the second quarter.
Well, Best does his best to hold on to this one. Good protection, virtually no heat at all. Finally coming up from the left cornerback, Roy Norman, to make the stop. However, after the first down and more yardage had been gained.
Hooker, play action. Down the middle is Best, 35, and he's down for first down at the 35-yard line, a gain of 13 on the play. And it was James Carmichael, the linebacker, a senior out of Lakeview, South Carolina, on the stop. So after the 13-yard gain, Best has caught two passes in this drive. So he has 3 receptions for 31 yards in the game. The leading receiver is Harbison. He has 100 and some yards in receptions as the handoff goes to Stony Polite, and he struggles down to the 33-yard line. Harbison, 5 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown, 1 for 80 yards.
Good second effort again by this kid. Stony Polite. He's just a tremendous back, 5'10", 5'11", 210 pounds, and he does have a lot of pro possibilities.
We talked about that 80-yard pass reception, longest of the year, longest hookup of the year for Alan Hooker. His longest previous was 62, and it was to Harbison again. Lone setback. Out in the flat to Polite. A little too high for him. And good defensive coverage on the far side by Darryl Corbin, a senior out of Columbia, South Carolina. There he is, number 12. Darryl from AC Flora High in Columbia. So to bring up a 3rd down and 8 situation for the Aggies at the 33-yard line of South Carolina State. Best goes far to the right side, top of your screen. Harbison, number 3, is in the near side. Hooker looking, throws. And it may have been caught, but whoever caught it paid the price. I got blocked out a little bit. I believe it was Polite who caught it, but it was Corbin who made the hit, and Polite is down.
Well, quarterback Alan Hooker laid him out to dry 2 times in a row. Here it is again, just a little too high and too soft, and coming up to just drill him. His linebacker, a strong defensive back, Darryl Corbin.
George Horrison will come on the punt. Horrison was the leading punter in the conference among returning punters. If you look at Dennis Thomas from a year ago, he did not punt coming into this game in the 2 previous games that the Aggies had. Last year, he averaged 36.5 yards per punt. Today, he's punted 1 time for 55 yards. As Polite gets a hand as he comes off the field, but Horrison is on. A 5'7", 160-pound junior from Spring Hope, North Carolina. Stony Polite. Has 2 touchdowns today. One on a 1-yard run, another on a 35-yard pass reception. And here's Horrison standing back at his own 40, or at the 46-yard line of South Carolina State. Pressure, gets it off. No roughing or no flag is down, and the ball goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. So it's effective. The coaches wanted a flag, but the officials said no. More of an acting job. They should have given Horrison an image.
Not only that, he was blocked into him by the up back. There he is, 37 sort of blocked him into it, and you can't get a rougher when he's blocked into the kicker. Good call. Here it is again. Nudged into him by the up back, number 37. Good call by the official. Ball is ruled out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Now they're ruling it at the, or maybe there was a...
They batted it. That's what happened. That's why it's up at the 8.
Okay, 1st and 10.
At the 8-yard line, South Carolina State goes to work. And they go straight ahead with the running back, the fullback, DuBose. And he has not much room. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. Blaze is in at quarterback. Number 9. Dr. Doom on the stop. Ernest Riddick. All-conference first team a year ago. He's a senior out of Edenton, North Carolina. Good ball player. Height may be a factor. 5'10", but he is tough. Here's Miller. James Miller trying to turn the corner, and Miller is up across the 13 to about the 14-yard line. They'll mark it right at about the 13-yard line. Give him about 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and call it 5.
This is how it looks. You're a defensive ball player playing the left side, linebacker, strong safety. Had a convoy there for a little while, but finally the interference was stripped, and the young man was left naked. As it brings up a 3rd down and 5, almost dictating a passing situation.
Glass comes to the near side. Eric Smith goes to the far side. Backs a split behind the quarterback Blaze, who started the game. 3rd down and 5. Option. And they go to the fullback, who struggles across the 15 to the 16. But DuBose cannot get enough for the 1st down. It'll bring up a 4th down punting situation for the South Carolina State Bulldogs. And that'll bring on Felton, who averaged 40.5 yards a punt in the 1st half. But they're going to measure. They think it's close enough. I didn't think it was that close.
Nor did I from this depth nor this angle. But obviously the officials, and perhaps
Much closer to it than we are.
Yeah, and perhaps Charles Glaze asked for the measurement.
Now let's see how close they are. It's either a third down, a first down, or it's going to bring up a fourth. They got it. They did get it just by the nose of the ball.
Good thing they weren't listening to us.
Felton would have been on punting, right? So they keep the drive alive now. This drive starting at their own 8-yard line. We're in the third quarter. 27-3 is the score. Aggies of North Carolina A&T on top by 24. 10-20 remaining in the third quarter. Charlie Neal and Lem Barney with you here on a warm, humid afternoon in Greensboro, North Carolina at Aggie Stadium.
Very warm. In fact, they had to bring the ambulance for a young lady who was sort of passed out because of the heat.
Carter, top of the screen. They go to the second man, Miller. Miller to the 20-yard line. A gain of 2. Second down and 8. And Riddick at the bottom of the pile. Defensively for the Aggies.
Doc Doom. I think the game may have been on an even keel, Charlie, had this young man Miller stayed in the ball game. As we made mention prior to the halftime, he was out because of a
But 3 turnovers
hit.
doesn't help either.
No, it doesn't. But
Then they had a field goal block.
He seems to be the spark plug for that offense.
Option with Glaze holding on to the ball, and Glaze to the 31-yard line and a first down. So Glaze gets the first down on the option play to the right side. Has good blocking out there.
Well, Glaze is a man who's got that offense rolling because of his option playing ability. He hasn't been that successful in the passing department. He's a little extra.
Eric Smith out there with the block.
Well, one of those lay down at the feet block wasn't that effective.
First down at the 31. Glaze keeps it again, pitches it back. And Miller has it. It was a dangerous pitch. A little low, too. Miller had to scoop it up, but he did, and gets it up to the 34, a gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7.
You can see Miller sort of gingerly walking back to the huddle, and that's because of that vicious hit he received early in the first quarter on a kickoff return. But he is that spark plug for the offense for South Carolina State. There he goes off now.
So Michael Summers comes on in the place of Miller. Also checking in is Kevin Baker, number 10, a wide receiver for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Gary Bridges brings him up to the line of scrimmage. You're looking at number 10, Baker.
Let's go, D-line. Let's go, Pat Artist.
They throw to the tight end, and flags go down, and it's intercepted. And on the interception is Joe Somerset. Somerset already has recovered a fumble that led to the 35-yard touchdown pass to Stoney Polite, and Somerset is a little slow getting
He
up.
has a twisted ankle, I'm sure.
But let's see what this is all about on the flag. There was a flag soon as there are flags all over the field. We may have a pass interference.
Interference. Defense. All right.
They offset. We had a pass interference against the defense, and we also had an ineligible receiver downfield against the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Offset, they'll play it again. Second and 7.
Hinton for the Bulldogs make the tackle here following the interception.
And this young man, Somerset, has been playing very well, so they don't want to lose him. And he's walking off very gingerly. 34-yard line is where the ball is. Second down and 7. We're in the third quarter. 7:57 remaining. 27-3 the score. Aggies of A&T on top of the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. It's been 9 years since they've beaten South Carolina State. They'd like to start turning that around today. And a hard hit put on Anthony Burgess, the senior out of Union, South Carolina. And one of the men that made the stop was the linebacker, Raw Burnett, number 33.
Burgess, if you can remember, had a long john early going in the first quarter there that somewhat set him up for the field goal that was blocked.
32-yard run.
Yes.
Burgess has had 2 runs for 32 yards, so the second run he didn't get anything. So the 1 run was a 32-yarder. It is 3rd down and about 5. Glaze, quarterback keep. He has the first down, still on his feet into Aggie territory, and he's down to the 43-yard line. Charles Glaze, the quarterback.
That's a good call. It's a good draw. They're looking for pass all the way. Linebackers have vacated the middle. Now he's got a convoy out in front of him. There's number 53, right guard Ferguson, and Russ Hinton. If they would throw their bodies and hit somebody, perhaps the play would have even gone for more yardage.
But I've still been impressed with the fact that the Bulldogs have been able to move the ball if they could just hold on to it a while. Baker on the near side, Eric Smith on the far side as the receiver. The backs are split behind the quarterback. Glaze on the option. He hands off to the left side, and he gives off to DeBose, the junior from Darlington, South Carolina. He just about got that ball into DeBose.
Barely got it off. Good job.
And the ball is down to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3 by DeBose. Plays coming in from the bench now. Michael Carter checks in.
Good defensive surge on the right side there. DeBose barely got the handoff, and it was almost in a situation where it could have created a fumble. Good job by quarterback Charles Glaze in holding on to it.
Glaze again throws, has it complete, and finally Michael Summers holds on to a pass.
Michael Summers just don't impress me that he want to run with the ball.
He only gained a half a yard after he made the catch, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 6.
It's the first one of 3 he's caught.
He dropped a couple. Now Eric Smith comes back in. As you look at Michael Summers, the junior out of Millen, Georgia. Dennis Thomas, the head coach. Harley Griffin is the big guy, the left tackle you see, number 78, 270. Knocked down. Good defensive play by the linebacker or defensive end, Vernon Davis, the sophomore out of Wilson, North Carolina, number 41. Got his hand on there, and it'll bring up a 4th down situation. Now, let's see what Dennis Thomas chooses to do on this 4th down. The quarterback Glaze is over on the sideline, and they're going to have to call a timeout. They do. The Bulldogs of South Carolina State call a timeout with 5:07 remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back.
Monday, sunshine, mostly clear and breezy. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still.
You want every day to be your best. So does Esquire magazine. That's why every issue brings you the information you need to stay on the leading edge.
Fine isolation shot then on Anthony Best.
That was Marcus Washington on the stop, number 15. 3rd and 1.
4 receptions for 48 yards.
Full house backfield. Polite the man in the middle. Make him on the outside. In fact, that was not Polite in the lineup at all. That was Keith Mathis in the middle, number 26. And he gets the first down for the Aggies. Keith Mathis, the sophomore from Oxon Hill, Maryland. And it's a first down as the Aggies keep the ball alive with 2:31 left in the 3rd quarter. They exploded for 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. 2 of them coming 16 seconds apart. A 1-yard run by Polite and a 35-yard pass hooker to Polite. 1st and 10. 39-yard line of South Carolina State. Best has it on the quick turn in. Still on his feet, and he'll be dropped on the far sideline after a gain down to the 33-yard line. So a gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
There's a real good team leader then, as you had a good chance to see Alan Hooker run out to Alan Best and give him a pat on the helmet, tell him a good job, and that only gives encouragement.
You know, I had lunch yesterday with I was going to say Al Addos. Cal Urban, who's a longtime athletic director and basketball coach here, who coached Al Attles. He said Al Attles is one of the best kids to ever come out of North Carolina A&T. You know, he played in the NBA, general manager of Golden State. And he said Alan Hooker's the next best.
This is George McLean. McLean, the sophomore from Dunn, North Carolina. And it's a 3rd down and about a yard. The ball at just inside the 30-yard line. With 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. 24-point lead by the Aggies, trying to break a 9-year jinx that's been held by South Carolina State. 1976, the last time the Aggies beat South Carolina State, and it was right here on this same field that they did it. They go for the 1st down off the right side.
Mathis, I do
and
believe,
it was Mathis on the carry, and he did get it. 1st down, Aggies. Sam Jones, our referee. Hasn't been a lot of penalties in this game.
No, it really hasn't.
Very good officiated game. 45 seconds left 3rd quarter as you look at Keith Mathis coming off. Picked up the 1st down for the Aggies. The drive again kept alive as they continue to march down the field. This drive started at their own 36 after the defense stopped South Carolina State on a 4th down situation. After the Bulldogs had driven from their own 8-yard line. This is Best in motion. Play action. Hooker dances away from a defender. Flags it down, throwing in the end zone. And Best comes up with it. What a reception for Anthony Best, going over the defender, but their flags down. Anthony Best just took it away from Charles Barksdale, number 8, the strong safety, who is the nephew of Barney Bussey, who wore the same number at South Carolina State.
No question about it. Semi rollout to his left. He sets up. Best is very well covered. Ball just bobbled off the shoulder pads of Barksdale and back into the hands of Best. He dropped an easy one, and he catches the most difficult one.
He went after the ball, and that's all that counts. But I think the flags are holding against the Aggies, and they're going to bring it back. So Hooker, who was en route to his 4th touchdown pass of the day, will have it brought back.
Charlotte, we made a view of the fact that it's pretty much a penalty-free game.
Clip. Offense. 1st down.
Clipping against the offense, so that brings it back 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 25.
What contrast, if any, do you see out of both officials from both the MEAC and the SWAC conference?
You don't want me to say, do you?
Screens.
We've got to go to SWAC next week. And running with the ball was McLean. He was dumped. As the 3rd quarter comes to an end here in Greensboro, North Carolina at Aggie Stadium, as we look at this last play of the quarter once again. Boy, this again is the touchdown that was called back, but what a grab by Anthony Best, taking it away from Charles Barksdale.
The clip occurred right there. That was a clip penalty.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter here. 27-3, the score remains with the Aggies on top by 24.
Yes, you're the Thunderbird I've loved so long, and the tempo that moves my heart. Taurus, you drive me past my dreams into reality.
Mustang, how I love all I've come to see.
Ooh, hitting it in a four.
Hitting the streets in my Ford.
Hitting it.
Hitting the streets in my Ford.
Hitting the streets in my Ford.
Minutes left in the contest. The Aggies trying to break the 9-year jinx, while at the same time trying to go 3-0 for the first time in 14 years. The last time the Aggies were 3-0 was 1972. They ended the season 8-2. And here's Hooker on 2nd and 25, looking down the field. Almost caught by Best. He tried, and Barksdale made him pay the price that time. He went up high for that one. And he's down at the 20-yard line. And watch the hit by Barksdale.
It's a tough pass there. He's trying to stretch as high as he can to go up with it, and it comes down on the left side of his body there. And I don't know if it's his back or, well, he's pointing toward his hip now.
Well, let's hope he's not shaken up. He's
Had some good plays here after dropping a couple here in the first half. He dropped a touchdown pass, but he made a great reception earlier that was called back because of a clip. And he tried to come up with a big reception that time, but let's hope he's okay. Let's watch it once again. Hooker with time. He hasn't been sacked today, I don't believe.
Good drop, good depth to the drop. He's got a chance to look downfield, just rifles it just a little too high. Good coverage then provided by Barksdale as he undercut the receiver. He gets up.
More or less looked like he may have just had the wind knocked out of him, the way he came down, more so than any real bodily injury. Alan Hooker, 3 touchdown passes today, 80 yards, 35, and 2 yards. 1 to Harbison, 1 to Polite, 1 to Jackson. He's not prejudiced. He spreads them around, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
He's thrown to everybody. So it's 3rd and 25 at the 40-yard line, a drive that started at their own 36. The penalty on the clip that nullified the touchdown has moved it back to the 40 where it is now. Plenty of time. He throws it out. And they kill Keith Mathis. Actually, they lost yards on that. Back to the 42-yard line. So they'll have to kick it away.
Number 12,
and George Horson will come on to do the punting. His 3rd punt of the afternoon.
Well, he loses a few yards on it, as you mentioned, by 2 yards, but he keeps that passing percentage going.
James Miller is the deep man, standing at about his own 15-yard line. They came hard, but they didn't get it. He calls for the fair catch and hopes it goes into the end zone. And it just does. Almost down at the 1. A touchback. It'll be brought out to the 20. That's where the Bulldogs will start. 1st and 10, their 2nd possession of the 2nd half. 14-12 left in the contest.
Hi, I'm Paul Horning, and football's been a big part of my life. To keep up with it, I go straight to the source, the sporting news. For my money, nothing else even comes close. Each issue covers more yardage than you get from broadcasts, newspapers, and all other sports weeklies and monthlies combined. Who's headed for the playoffs, their conference title, the Super Bowl, the previews, picks, and football's hottest issues. And you'll get the same straight story on baseball, basketball, hockey, and boxing too. That's the way I like my sports coverage, and this is where I get it, in the sporting news. So can you.
Reach for your phone now and call toll-free 1-800-238-2400. You'll get 36 issues of the sporting news for 3 installments of only $5.99. You'll also get special preview issues at no extra cost. This is a savings of 1/2 off the regular subscription rate. It's our lowest price anywhere. So call now, 1-800-238-2400. That's 1-800-238-2400.
Here's Glaze going to the air on 1st down, throws it shy of his receiver, Eric Smith. From their own 20, it's 1st down and 10 with 14:08 left in the contest. 2nd and 10. Baker coming in from the bench with a play. And Glass will check out, number 26. Baker, number 10, comes far to the left side. Baker, a tall kid, 6'4". Glaze looking, throws, has it complete to Eric Smith, and he has a 1st down across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Eric Smith on the reception. And it was Brian Bowden on the stop for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T.
Get a chance to watch it again. Semi-rollout, got good blocking up front. Curl pattern underneath by Eric. 1st and 10. They need to get something going. They need to get to the end zone if they want to make it a contest.
That's what they need to do. They have not been in the end zone today. Wide open, Eric Smith at midfield, and down to the 46-yard line goes Eric Smith before he's finally stopped by Broderick Rouse, the sophomore from Miami, the left cornerback. So it's another 1st down for the South Carolina State Bulldogs at the 46-yard line.
It's getting good protection here now. Good drop back.
Coming right at you into your living room. Huh?
Airs one out, yes. Yes, and we're looking at Barksdale now.
Here's Darnell in the lineup. Intercepted. It went off the hands of the tight end Tyler and picked off by Hooker, Ed Hooker, the junior from Liberty, North Carolina, the older brother of quarterback Alan Hooker.
I said Barksdale, I meant Darnell. 81 intended receiver, Tyler. Good interception, fine turnover, as South Carolina State had one of its best drives going of the day, and it ended with the interception by Ed Hooker.
Fourth turnover of the day by South Carolina State. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. At their own 28-yard line. The Aggies of A&T will go to work 1st and 10. The pitch coming to the near side is Juan Jackson, and he fumbles. And the Bulldogs of South Carolina State get it back right at the 29-yard line. So they gain a yard, and it's their second turnover of the day. So it may be a break for the Bulldogs right now. We'll take a timeout. 13:03 remaining in the contest.
Monday, sunshine, mostly clear and breezy. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still.
You want every day to be your best. So does Esquire magazine. That's why every issue brings you the information you need to stay on the leading edge. Esquire helps you look your best with meaningful fashion reports. Esquire helps you get more out of life and your personal relationships. Esquire gives you an edge in business, from your investments to your career. Every month there's more for you in Esquire. Call now and we'll send you a year of Esquire. 12 issues for only $11.95. That's a 60% savings off the regular cover price and $5.99 less than the basic subscription rate. You'll also receive Esquire's exclusive guide to health and fitness, A Man's Body, free with your paid subscription. If you want to make the most of your career, your relationships, your money, your leisure, call now to save 60% on Esquire and get a free copy of A Man's Body. Esquire, your edge.
At the 29-yard line of South Carolina State, or of North Carolina A&T rather, Darnell has his team. He wants to throw it. He throws it up. He has Glass out there. Touchdown! 29-yard pass from Roscoe Darnell to Edwin Glass. First touchdown of the day for the Bulldogs.
It took a long time. It was a lot of blocking up front here. He just airs out a post corner pattern. Fine throw, fine catch. Here it is again from another angle.
And he gets that 1 foot down. That's all he needs
in college.
Broderick Rouse was the defender who was beaten on the play. And it's ironic how many plays after turnovers have resulted in one-play touchdown drives. In fact, the Hooker touchdown pass of 80 yards was a one-play drive. And then the Hooker pass to Polite came after a fumble recovery by Somerset, 35 yards. And now after the fumble recovery here by South Carolina State, they go in on one play for a touchdown. Now the question is, will they go for the two-point conversion?
Well, it's really academic. They need to just try and get a point. 2 points would help them. But again, as you're mentioning about the big one play after turnover, it's almost an assured high percentage that a team after turnover is going to try something deep on the secondary.
Especially when you're trailing by 24 points.
That's the truth.
And you look at Broderick Rouse, the defender, and that 1 foot, that's all he needed to get down. And that was Edwin Glass, the senior out of Jacksonville, Florida, his second touchdown reception of the year. That was a 29-yarder. His other longest of the year was a 29-yarder. And he's considered a deep threat on that Bulldog offense, but they finally got the ball to him, and it paid off. Now, let's see. Like I said, they may be going for the two-point conversions because it's 27-9 now, 27-10. That means they're only 17 points down. 2 touchdowns and a field goal ties it up. Whatever that means, if it helps, right? At this particular point.
12:55 remaining.
They are going to go for it. The two-point conversion. Roscoe Darnell is the quarterback. Will they throw it? Eric Smith is far on the right side. They fake the pitch, and Darnell goes. He just gets in. So the two-point conversion run by Roscoe Darnell. So it's 27.
Nifty run here by Darnell, who's not known as a running quarterback. He's more of a precision passer. Outlegs everybody to the corner of the end zone for the two-point conversion that makes it now 27-11. Aggies still on top.
With 12:55 remaining in the contest. Finally, the Bulldogs have something to cheer about. We'll be back.
22nd Air Force has directed an emergency SAM to transport live or death cargo from Norton to Andrews to pick off the incoming 808 mission from Clark.
Roger, notifying appropriate agencies. Attention all agencies. 22nd Air Force has directed an emergency SAM transporting life or death cargo, Norton to Andrews, picking off the incoming 808. All agencies acknowledge.
Lieutenant Galloway, we've been rerouted to Andrews. Emergency shipment of blood. You change the flight plan, I'll check the weather and NOTAMs. We'll be out of here in a hurry.
Yes, sir.
It takes Air Force training, teamwork, and dedication to get the job done. Highly trained, motivated people, all working together with one purpose. Whether it's helping to save a life or doing their part to help protect freedom around the world, the men and women of the United States Air Force are there, working at the forefront of today's technology. Be part of today's Air Force team. See your Air Force recruiter and find out how you can qualify for training and education that will last time. Aim high, Air Force.
On the first day of school, most kids are a little nervous. Others are nervous and disadvantaged, unfed, unhealthy, unhappy, unmotivated, underdeveloped, under pressure. How can any child find room to learn when he and his family are struggling just to survive?
Hello, I'm Mrs. Ellis. Now, who can spell their name?
Head Start. We're giving kids the confidence and well-being to face new challenges, showing parents how they can help their children want to expand, and giving families the tools they need to hold their lives together. Give your future a start in your community from the heart of your community. Your local community action agency.
So the mistakes that hurt the Bulldogs in the second half has just stung the Aggies right here in the fourth quarter. After a fumble, the Bulldogs able to capitalize, and they put 6, make it 8 on the scoreboard. This is Harbison from the 5. Harbison trying to get outside, and he brings it back to the 30. Flag is down. Herbert Harbison on the return, 25 yards on the return for Herbert Harbison. As we look at the time of possession, 8 seconds to get in the end zone after the fumble recovery. 29-yard reception by Edwin Glass. 27-11. They're down 16 points right now. Penalty on the run back will move the ball back inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, and that's where the Aggies will start first down and 10.
Number 24 on the run back.
And they gave the number, and that was George McLean, the running back, who was, here's the clip. Here he is, clips number 35 right there.
It'll be
from South Carolina State, Zachary Whitley.
Charlie, it'll be interesting to see if Coach Mo Forte will stick with his original game plan, even leading by 16 points at 12 minutes and 49 seconds to go, or will they try something else?
Well, they've got a good cushion right now. They may as well stay with it. Polite. One of the things you do want to do is run some time off the clock, though. Well, they're starting to do that by keeping it on the ground.
Yes, they have had a few ground control situations where it resulted into a touchdown, one 5 minutes and one 6 minutes. So
there's Mo Forte. They came out with a big win in their opener over Fayetteville State, 50-0. Then they won a dogfight against Winston-Salem, which is right down the road. They had to stand people in here a week ago when they played Winston-Salem, and they came away with a 7-point win, 28-21. So they start off 2-0 for the first time since 1976. And again, they keep the ball on the ground, trying to go to the left side. And a Polite again gets called.
Bulldogs will need a turnover here, perhaps another fumble or an interception.
Well, if they can just hold them here, it's a third down situation. Third down at about 7. The ball inside right at the 15-yard line.
Time right now is still an ally for them if they can get the ball and get a quick score again.
Harbison comes to the near side. In the slot to the right is Best, Anthony Best. I formation. Hooker going to the air. Under pressure. Flags are down. And he was still looking. That's the first sack of the game. Now, we may have holding against number 38, James Gilbert, who was covering Harbison, because the flag was thrown downfield.
Well, we finally get an ominous pass rush here by the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Hooker almost escapes this with his Houdini footwork, but
now, see, that's the kind of mistakes that hurt you. Now watch this play. Now here's the holding right here. Number 38. He held him right on his jersey. And there's where you see the flag fall right at his feet.
Well, you tell me this. If you've been the most deadly receiver all day and he's on your side on a 3rd down and 11, would you hold him or not?
Wrong time to hold, though.
Yes, it is.
You never know when to hold, but that's the wrong time to hold. That's first down now for the Aggies, so they get new life on the holding penalty.
Defense. Previous spot foul.
So
First
James
down.
Gilbert is guilty of the hold, and it is a first down for the Aggies. Otherwise, we got a 4th down. That was only the first time they've gotten to Hooker today. 11-10 remaining as you look at Alan Hooker. Handoff to the lone setback. And that is the fullback Mathis.
One thing good you can say about the Bulldogs thus far in this situation, they haven't given up. They're still hitting. They're still popping. They're still putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. First time, as you mentioned, the quarterback, Alan Hooker, has been sacked today. Defensive line just turned themselves loose. It was long, sure passing situation, and they finally got to him. Here Allen comes up now. He's still applauding his offense. Let's go.
2nd down and 8. 26-yard line.
Come on, block right there.
Hooker. Knocked away. Good defense by number 12, who got his hand up there. That's Corbin, the senior from Columbia, South Carolina.
Corbin's been in and made some nifty plays defensively thus far. A couple of knockdowns, a few nice tackles, caused a fumble, and here he breaks up a 2nd down pass attempt. Good job. Otherwise, tight end certainly would have had the reception.
3rd down, 8. I formation. Mathis the up back, Polite the 2nd back in the I. Harbison on the near side, Best on the far side. Hooker on the draw to Polite. Polite will be shy of a 1st down. As he gets to the 29-yard line, it'll bring up a 4th down situation. But they've eaten up some more time off the clock. 10:05 remaining. The clock continuing the run. It's down to 10 minutes now and running. And Horrison back to punt it. It'll be James Miller, the deep man. As you see the stats on Polite, 83 yards. He's trying to go for the 100. Going for the century mark for the 2nd time this year. And Miller better get on it. And he doesn't. I don't believe. They'll have to unscramble this. 2 officials down there. Miller a little lackadaisical in getting to that punt. They're going to give it to South Carolina State. Boy, I thought he lost it.
I did too.
Timeout. 8:36. Make that 9:36 remaining. We'll be back.
A clogged fuel injector can make your car slow, sluggish, unresponsive. But only 2 tankfuls of advanced formula Mobile Super Unleaded can actually start to unclog fuel injectors.
Wrong personnel.
From their own 11-yard line. Incomplete, intended for the tight end. Number 81, Tyler. Second and 10 at the 11 with 9:32 remaining. The clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Actually, the ball is at the 10-yard line. But it was a great punt by Harrison. 50 yards. He had a 55-yarder in the first half. Darnell rolling right, running, staying inside, and finally goes out of bounds, stops the clock at the 16-yard line. They'll mark it at the 17, a gain of 7. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Nifty move here, but he can't really get into the end zone by running now, especially down deep in his territory. He's going to have to advance the ball upfield by throwing. He really didn't look for a secondary receiver at all. He just decided to just take off and scramble.
Sometimes heat will make you do that.
That'll make you get out of the kitchen.
Hot in more ways than one out here today. Frank Newman just missed, bringing him down shy of all the yards he did manage to pick up.
Draw.
And he gets the first down, and he's still on his feet. And he's still running, and he's down across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Roscoe Darnell, he gets the first down. 27-11 is our score with 9:20 left in the ball game. And the Aggies trying to break the drought against the Bulldogs. It's been a dogfight.
Good quarterback draw here to pick up the necessary yardage for the first down, but now he's going to have to concentrate on throwing the ball. Good second effort. Twisting and turning, keeping his shoulders parallel to the line of the scrimmage, and advancing the ball up near the 30-yard line, but he's going to have to put the ball in the air. The ball does travel faster in the air than it does on the ground. And he's got some nifty receivers who can catch it.
First down 10. 28-yard line, their own 28. Darnell again wants to go to the air. Steps up, under pressure. Sacked, fumbles. And it's recovered by South Carolina State. Back at the 12-yard line.
A loss of about 13 yards here.
But look who makes the hit.
Almost sacked here. He loses the ball. 41. Good job. A&T should have come up with the fumble then.
Vernon Davis was the man who put the pressure on and made the stop. Number 41, the sophomore from Wilson, North Carolina.
When things go wrong, things go wrong.
And it is second down and a lot of real estate to go.
7 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. The offensive line just going to have to give him some time. He's just going to have to buckle down. That's
second and 25.
Work.
And they run straight ahead with the fullback DuBose, who gets out to the 20. 25 goes DuBose. They'll mark it at about the 26-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 13 for the Bulldogs.
Well, not a bad call because of the yardage that was gained, but it's still, they're not going to fool anybody running now. They're going to have to put the ball in the air and advance it downfield with some long routes.
Well, I guess they're thinking, Mel, maybe the D-backs of the Aggies are playing a little deep-looking pass, and if they can get by that initial rush, they may have something going. But this is a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12. They need something. They get it complete, but not enough, not nearly enough for first down. To the tight end, Robert Tyler. And he was covered very well by Vernon Davis.
Play
also
selection
over there, number 45 for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, and that was Demetrius Harrison.
Play selection in a question. If the tight end is going to be throwing the ball, he's going to have to get past the marker, at least to the first down marker before the ball is thrown to him, or at least try and go out to one of his outside receivers.
Punting situation for Felton.
Now they'll have to relinquish the ball again by way of the punt.
Good kick. Good hang time. Harbison at the 20, trying to get to the corner. And he's dropped at the 26-yard line. Timeout. Reynolds on the stop. 6:58 left. 27-11. Aggies have the ball. They lead by 16.
A clogged fuel injector can make your car slow, sluggish, unresponsive. But only 2 tankfuls of advanced formula Mobile Super Unleaded can actually start to unclog fuel injectors. To give your car a new injection of power. Mobile Super Unleaded, high octane, with a plus.
Hey, you want to remember your 2 weeks with Video Soul in the Virgin Islands? We've got a great t-shirt for you. I spent 2 weeks with Video Soul in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah, on. All right. It comes in sizes small, medium, large, and extra large. Just send in a money order for $10 to Video Soul, Virgin Islands T-shirt, Post Office Box 25579, Washington, D.C. 20007. Please, no cash or personal checks. Allow 4 weeks for delivery. Order now while they last. It's cool running, Mom.
6:58 the time remaining. My buddy Cal Irvin just came in the booth. Say hello. Always good to see Cal. At the 27-yard line, South Carolina State trailing by 16. The Aggies have the ball of A&T. Under 7 minutes to play. Alan Hooker has done it all today. That's best in motion, number 1. And they go straight ahead with the big fullback, Shivers. And Shivers gains about 5 or 6 to the 34-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Gained 7 on that last run. Shivers out of North Augusta, South Carolina. 6'2", 240. Polite goes on a wing to the right side. Best in motion. The lone setback is Mathis. Mathis gets the call, and Mathis is across the 40 to about the 47-yard line, and he has the first down. The clock continues to run. And it's running out on the Bulldogs of South Carolina State, who are in danger of going to 1-2 for the season under first-year head coach Dennis Thomas. Again, one lone setback behind the quarterback Hooker. Now Polite goes in motion. And they give to Shivers. Shivers still on his feet, and Shivers is close to midfield. Gain of about 6 for Shivers. 2nd and 4. 5:40 remaining.
Bulldogs are just laying back, letting the offense bring it to them. They're not really doing anything to try and get a turnover. At least try and strip the ball. At least put some vicious hits on the run.
Well, we said earlier, Lem, one of the weak points of the Bulldogs uncharacteristically last year was their defense. And one of the things Dennis Thomas is known for is his defensive ability. He was defensive coordinator at Alcorn State under Marino Cassim, who's known to have some strong defensive teams. And he's trying to re-establish that same priority here in South Carolina at South Carolina State. Running that time is McLean.
First down, I do believe.
Close to it. He should have a first down. Again, if there was a strong point coming into the year for the Bulldogs, was their offense because of the number of seniors starting up front. 5 on their interior line, 7 all total. And it's 3rd and inches.
Well, the Bulldogs of South Carolina State have faced a very slow offense led by quarterback Alan Hooker, who's thrown to just about everybody. The ball has been run by almost all the backs, and now they're faced with a 3rd and short.
They almost got to delay a game. And a flag is down. We may have holding. We may have face mask. 2 flags thrown, one by the umpire, one by the referee. And it was 3rd and inches. It's face mask. The reason I thought it might have been face mask because it was right in the middle of the pile when all the bodies were piling up. And so that's going to give them a first down.
Maybe we have a chance to see it here.
Polite has the ball. There it is.
Big
right
Anthony
hand.
Reynolds.
Got a hold of Polite's face mask, and this one's just about over now with 4:20 remaining.
Everything about except the showers perhaps over now.
One of the things I did notice spending a couple of days down here with the Aggies, well, they were very loose. Coach is very loose. Both men, receivers come out wide to the right side. That's Best and Harbison. I formation. Shivers the up back. Polite the second back. Polite has the call. Polite has some temporary running room, but he was brought down by number 12, Corbin. That's Darryl Corbin.
He tried to stop and reverse his action and go back upfield, but again, it was questionable about his speed. I think had he just relied on his speed and tried to get as much yardage as he could to the outside, he would have got much more out of this play than he ended up receiving. Here it is.
Got 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Barksdale came over to help out on Corbin. Harbison and Harper on the other side. Polite into the middle of the line, breaks through and goes to the outside at the 10, 5, and he's brought down at the 4-yard line. Stoney Polite brought down at the 4-yard line. Good tackle by Ernie Peace, the safety.
Well, that's what I meant, Charlie. If he'd have tried that to break his speed to the outside the last play, he would have got much more yardage. Here, Corbin relies on his speed. Here he goes. Good nifty move, good blocking in the middle there. Now he just turns it on. He doesn't have that much speed. However, he's tired. He's been a workhorse all day as well. But he got much more yardage had he tried to cut back.
And that should put him close to, or not, if not over the 100-yard mark for the day. 111 yards rushing for Stoney Polite. 3:08 remaining in the contest. Average 6.2 yards per carry, 1 touchdown running, plus he had a 35-yard touchdown reception. We'll be back.
Monday, sunshine, mostly clear and breezy. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, still.
You want every day to be your best. So does Esquire magazine. That's why every issue brings you the information you need to stay on the leading edge. Esquire helps you look your best with meaningful fashion reports. Esquire helps you get more out of life and your personal relationships. Esquire gives you an edge in business, from your investments to your career. Every month, there's more for you in Esquire. Call now and we'll send you a year of Esquire. 12 issues for only $11.95. That's a 60% savings off the regular cover price and $5.99 less than the basic subscription rate. You'll also receive Esquire's exclusive guide to health and fitness, A Man's Body, free with your paid subscription. If you want to make the most of your career, your relationships, your money, your leisure, call now to save 60% on Esquire and get a free copy of A Man's Body. Esquire, your edge.
We should be in good shape. Yep.
Hope not.
That's the plane I'm trying to catch. I think I just missed it. 3:08 remaining. A lot of passing today. But not a long game, considering. And here's Hooker trying to keep it down to the 2-yard line. And boy, he sacrificed his body that time. Got caught up in there between number 59, Herbert Schofield.
Got caught in the Bulldogs patch then.
Here's 59,
He should have tossed it out. I'm sure he wants to get into the end zone and get a taste of the glory of scoring.
He had Barksdale also in there on the stop. Javon Ross. 2nd down, goal, 3-yard line. Hooker again. Polite, touchdown, his 2nd of the afternoon. Rushing, 3rd of the day. Stoney Polite, 3-yard run. And it comes with 2:25 left, and many of the crowd starts toward the exits right here.
Good drive here, good surge, good lead blocking there, as you can see by number 24. McLean leading him in. Good surge by that offensive line.
Point after is up. And Woodson puts it through, and it's 34-11. 73-yard drive for the Aggies of North Carolina A&T, and they've put this game out of reach.